A new report from ABC News has even more outrageous details about Representative George Santos and his history of lies, fabrications, whatever you want to call it. So now, look, the details of this report get into his personal life. Generally, I try to stay away from his personal life as far away as possible. Okay. And especially considering it deals with his relationships, where you have people who had dated George Santos, even had lived with him for a short period of time, and are now coming out and dishing about this. So again, I normally wouldn't care about people's personal lives, but in this case, there's a lot of things in here that are really very messed up, including catfishing and dating people who are in high school. So now, let me give you the details. One man, Leandro Biz, said that he had dated Santos when he was 19, and Santos was 25. He was in the United States, Biz was, on a tourist visa from Brazil, and said that Santos had offered to marry him in order to get him a green card. Oh, interesting. So now, Biz ultimately did not do this, and from what he's dished about the relationship, it seems like he dodged a bullet. Biz described the relationship with Santos as, quote, toxic, and said that he was manipulative and had always tried to stop him from leaving the United States and returning to Brazil. So now, he had also lied about ridiculous things, as George Santos has been doing the whole time, dating supermodels who had always told him, oh, George, you should be a supermodel too. Really?
Bullshit.
Come on. Now, unsurprisingly, Santos, while he was dating Biz, had lied about his name, was using the name Anthony Zabrowski. So wasn't known as George Santos, but Anthony instead. Now, there's another man, Pedro Villarva, who had said that he and Santos had met on Tinder back in 2014. Villarva was 18 years old and still in high school. Santos was 26. Villarva said that Santos had encouraged him to move in with him to his apartment, where Santos was already living with his then wife, Yuadla Vieira. According to Villarva, Santos said that she was just his friend, not his wife, and that he didn't know that they were married until he had been dating Santos for several months. So, wait, that's you're married. That's your wife? What's going on here? What? Now, after a year of dating, Villarva said that he had begun to realize how often Santos was lying to him. In a previous interview with the New York Times, Villarva said that he moved out after finding online proof that Santos had faced legal challenges in Brazil for forging checks belonging to his mother's client. So, by the way, that is right now, Brazil is looking to get that case and to prosecute that case against Santos. So yeah, they're looking to bring criminal charges. Now, Villarva also told ABC News about his consistent lying. Quote, the way that he is that he lies, and then he tries to cover up that lie with another lie. Well, yes, that's generally how pathological liars work. But again, people who are victims of somebody who I believe is sociopathic and a pathological liar, I mean, it's sometimes it can be really difficult to really find that out, to accept that you're being lied to and gaslit, especially if it's somebody that you believe that you cared about, but it turns out you didn't even know that person to begin with. But Villarva also told the press that while they had lived together, he was paying the bills. Well, that's the other thing, too. So Santos wasn't paying the bills. This guy was. For him and his then wife. He also suspects that Santos had stolen his phone and pawned it for cash. I mean, that is just ridiculous. But it gets even worse, if you can believe it. Another man, Kevin Guzman, told ABC News that he had been approached by Santos. And, basically Santos had been pursuing him for a relationship. And he had declined. He wasn't interested. Santos then went around telling people, and this is going to sound very familiar, that they were dating anyway. Now, I say this sounds familiar because, remember, one of the recent stories is actually about the treasurer for the Santos campaign. He's like, oh, we got a new treasurer. Yeah, we hired a new guy. And that new guy's like, no, you didn't. I rejected the job. I didn't take the job. How could you say that? I'm not working for you. What? You want to work for us? No. Welcome aboard. What? What the hell? No, I'm not working for you. What kind of benefits do you want? Oh, just kidding. You don't get benefits. No. Now, Guzman said he wanted me to be in a relationship with him, which I didn't want. Then he made everybody think that I was with him. He was with me all the time then. I didn't realize how much he had sold it. Pathological. And that's not even the most horrible part, because it turns out that Santos had allegedly used Guzman and his image online to catfish people. Taking his photo and using it on dating apps to find someone else. I mean, what? Sociopathic, lie after lie after lie, pathological, sociopath. We don't see any regrets either. The recent OAN interview shows you everything you need to know. No apologies, nothing real, just nothing, just more lies, constant lies. And every day we keep finding something worse and worse about George Santos, Anthony DeVolder, Anthony Zabrowski, whatever his name is. He doesn't even have one single name. Every day we find more, and yet, of course, the guy refuses to step down. He never will. The only thing that's going to remove George Santos is someone removing him from Congress in handcuffs. And, with the way the investigations are beginning to ramp up on George Santos, that might happen sooner than later.